All right, I'm Kurt Halverson with HomeTown Credit Union, and welcome to another virtual Lunch and Learn. Today we are joined by a naturalist with Riverbend Nature Center, David Foley, and David's going to tell us about some of the exciting, fun, adventurous, and low-cost activities they've got going on out at Riverbend this summer. So David, tell us a little bit about what you've got going on.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you, Kurt. So this summer, we've all been thrown a curveball a little bit with our programming. So we're trying to get back and into the swing of things this summer. So just in June, we've started with in-person programming again. So we're starting with our micro camps this summer. And it's a new concept for us, but we're really enjoying them so far. What a micro camp is essentially it's an hour-long session for your kids to come learn a new skill or activity. So we have a variety of different topics through the months of June, July, and August. And I'll just run through them real quick. We've already had our archery and pond dipping sessions, but we have a couple more coming up in July as well. We also have all about animals, fun with fossils, geocaching, compass course, survival training, tree detectives, as well as just some traditional camps coming up as well. The traditional camps are still going to be in person, but they're going to be limited to groups of 10, so we can social distance and keep everyone safe. And those topics this year are going to be Busy Bees, Critter Connection, Riverbend Olympics, which is a popular one, the Art of Nature, and Treasure Hunters. And what those look like is they're 2 days long. So kids come each day from 9 to 4, and we'll spend time looking around the nature center itself, going on hikes, and then doing activities that relate to that topic. So kids have a pretty action-packed day. They come energetic and leave pretty tired, but it's a fun
like
day.
That.
Yeah, exactly. One of our actual most popular camps are called Adventure is Out There. And that one is actually where we go off-site. And typically we take a van, but this year we're taking those extra precautions, and we're having parents drop them off at local locations. So we're using Shattuck St. Mary's as well as North Alexander Park. So kids will have the opportunity to go canoeing and kayaking, and then doing the ropes course over at Shattuck. So we're looking forward to that one as well. And these are all available to take a look and check out those descriptions on our website, which is just rbnc.org. And we also have some programs coming up for parents, which have to have fun as an adult too, so we want to include them as well. We have family programs, one this weekend on Saturday. We're doing a family float out at North Alexander Park, which is basically a time to come out and use our kayaks and canoes. We're going to have one this weekend, like I mentioned, and then if they're popular enough, we'll schedule some throughout the summer. Another good thing to check out is we have the Summer Storytime Adventures. So if you're not ready to come out and do an in-person program, almost every Saturday this summer, we're going to try and do a story adventure on our Facebook page where we go live and read stories and talk about some natural or environmental aspects of our nature center, as well as things they can see in their own backyard. Let me check out. We have some lunch and learns just like this right here. Lunch and learns usually are once a month on Wednesdays, and we have a variety of different topics lined up. We just had one this week on the restoration of our woodlands at RBNC. Our naturalist, Brittany, has been doing a lot of work on the invasive species there. So if you haven't seen the trails, it's worth coming out and taking a look. They look a little bit different, and we're clearing out some of those invasive species and making room for our traditional plants to grow. Also, I'll throw out there, we have an adult night coming up on June 23rd, and it's actually adult archery. So if you've never taken a hand at archery, or if you want to learn a new skill, come on out. We have a lot of fun with that. We play some games with it and have some challenges with that too, and the adults love it as well. And then lastly, I'll just throw out there, we also have some homeschool science days coming up that any homeschool, or even if you're not a traditional homeschool family and you want to jump on, it's a time to come learn about a new topic that traditionally wouldn't be in a normal school setting. So we try to have our naturalists pick a topic of interest and then really explore it and dive in and answer those questions virtually. And kids can sit right down with their parents or themselves, and it's been really successful so far.
That's so wonderful. Now, you mentioned an adult night coming up with archery. I think it was last February, my girlfriend and I did the snowshoeing night. It was candlelit snowshoeing, and it was a blast. It made for a great date night. At the end, there was a campfire with s'mores. Just a fantastic way to get outside, enjoy nature, burn some energy and work off cabin fever. And so I'm so delighted to hear about that archery class. Now, for kids, what age ranges are these programs a best fit for?
Great question. So we try to have a few different programs for all age groups. Our micro camps, it kind of depends on the topic itself. Archery, we like to start a little bit older, so we're saying, third to eighth grade is probably the best fit for that one. But most of the other ones we can accommodate kindergartners or preschoolers, and they can try their hand at pond dipping and using the microscopes and things like that. Our normal camps, they also range from different age groups. So like Busy Bees and our Critter Connection camps are for that younger preschool to kindergarten age group. And then we also have the Adventurers Out There for the older kids. That goes all the way up to eighth grade. If there is a camp that you see that traditionally isn't in that age group and you want to send your kid, just ask us and we can make sure it's a good fit for them. We're pretty flexible on making that work for anyone. But all of the programs on our website have different age groups if you're curious on kind of what that curriculum looks like and if they want to check out what would be a best fit for their family.
That's wonderful, wonderful. And so tell us a little bit about yourself. What sparked your interest in your career choice? I think it's fascinating.
It is. It's different every day, that's for sure. So I grew up actually going to Riverbend all the time and walking the trails and just really enjoying nature. And through college, I kind of bounced around to different majors, and I finally found what made me happy and what made me interested in learning more was I had a park and recreation class that I loved, and I thought this is where I want to be. So I actually ended up majoring in recreation, parks, and leisure services with a career track in natural resource management. So I got to be outside and do water testing and check out forest restoration and things like that. And that really sparked my interest in the natural land and environmental education. So over the couple of years, I've worked with Extension through the University of Minnesota. And now, just in October, I started here with Riverbend. And I've really enjoyed my time here so far. And like I said, it's different every day. There's a new group of ages that come out. So we have anywhere from preschool all the way up to our senior citizens that do programs with us as well.
That's so wonderful. That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing that story. I'm always really interested to hear about how people choose their career path.
It is. It's
And
really interesting.
I love that you were able to enjoy Riverbend when you were younger and now you're working there. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
full circle, yes.
Yeah, yep, I love that. Now, you had also mentioned about the forest restoration and invasive species and things like that. I know a while back buckthorn was quite a problem, and you had brought out some goats to the nature center there to help. Is that still a program that's going on, or has
Yeah, that's a great question. So the goats were out probably, I'm thinking over 5 years now, and they did their session there. That was kind of phase one. So what they did, they brought the goats in and they cleared out some of those smaller brush items. So it made room for our naturalists to get in there and really tackle those large trees.
hmm,
I don't know if you've ever seen, but they can get really, really large, and it takes a lot of the heavy duty equipment to actually get those big ones taken care of. One thing we like to say is it's not a 1 year project. It's definitely a 10-year plus project to remove buckthorn, and you have to be very on top of it. As soon as you cut the actual trunk or stem of the buckthorn plant, it releases its seeds. So you have to either cover it or spray it with chemical. And they know how to grow, that's for sure. So they overtake the natural land and don't allow the other plants to grow. And so they're pretty invasive. So we like to take care of them right away. And we focus on certain areas to really make sure we're getting the seeds taken care of as well as the growth that we can manage ourselves. So yeah,
wow.
it's still happening. Brittany is our expert in the topic, and she has done a lot of work on that this year, along with Evan Pack, who is our Green Corps member that's serving at Riverbend this summer.
Okay.
So that team has been going all summer long, and they've been going all spring as well. And they've got a lot of nice work done. And it's going to be a project, but they're seeing good results so far.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. So let's say that somebody wants to head out to Riverbend and walk the trails and things like that. Is there an admission cost, and are there hours to the park that they should be aware
Great
of?
question. Yeah, no, I love that question because we are proud to say that we have no admission fees. We always recommend that you become a member of the Nature Center, which helps just support our mission, and it gives you a little discount on some of our programs as well. But you are more than welcome to come out and walk for free and check out the Interpretive Center when it finally opens again. We're hoping end of July, maybe in August. We'll see how we do. But outside is always open. We've put out some outdoor restrooms as well this year. So there is some opportunities to just come out and spend the day there and have a picnic or check out the trails. The park is open, we like to say sunrise to sunset. So it's a pretty large area, and the trails are pretty extensive. So if you haven't tried out the Prairie or Troutly, which goes down by the river, there's always a new space to explore. And a lot of times we've seen a lot of families just spend the day out there, like I said, and have a picnic and just really enjoy and relax and slow down a little bit.
That's wonderful. Now, I've heard in the wintertime that there are fat tire bike races that are held out there. And do you have year-round bike tracks that people can ride on, or is that just a winter activity for the snow bikes?
You know, we allow bikes to use the trails.
Okay.
In the winter, it's very popular, like you mentioned, with the fat tire. So we had a race this past, I think it was in February. And, you know, that brings out almost 100 riders. And they go right through the Prairie Loop all the way down to Dairy Lane, kind of past the prison over there. And I'm just shocked how fast these guys go. And we had even kids participating this year, and it's just a fun hobby that even I want to try out this next winter. But yeah, the regular mountain bike groups also come out and use the trails. We just ask that you do stay on the actual trails. Sometimes we have noticed some off-roading a little bit, and that just kind of is a concern for our plants and our animals that are using that environment. We want to keep that as natural as possible.
Sure. Yep, completely understandable. So what's the best way for people to find out about upcoming programs and the best way for them to register either for themselves or their children to attend?
Awesome. Yeah. So we have a Facebook page as well as an Instagram page. Those we like to just do kind of highlights and updates on. We try to put all of our events on the Facebook page as well. But the easiest way to keep in touch or keep updated is to join our membership, which is either a family or individual membership. And, you know, we have a newsletter that comes out pretty often. We do e-blast once a month, as well as a newsletter that comes out quarterly. And that will just give you the full list of programs that are coming up. You can throw it on the fridge. And like I said, there's such a variety of different age groups that come out. There's really something for everyone. So check it out. Otherwise, our website is continuously updated. And I'm going to pull it up right now and just make sure I can give you the actual link. But it's here we go, rbnc.org/upcoming programs. And that's going to be your best bet to find out what's happening.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. Fantastic. Well, it's definitely a gem right there in Faribault, and it's something that not everybody is aware of. So it's great to spread that awareness, not only to residents of Faribault, but surrounding communities, because you can make a short drive and spend a whole day out there and have a lot of entertainment, you know, and depending on whether you just access the park or you participate in a program, either way, it's not going to break the budget, and it's a healthy way to get outside too and spend some quality time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I will mention that even if there is a program that you're interested in, you maybe not have the funds for it, we do offer scholarships as well.
Wow.
A lot of our supporters in the community like to donate to our scholarship fund. So don't ever hesitate to reach out and ask questions. We're more than welcome to talk. And we are very happy to make it accommodable or accessible to everyone. So there's always funds available for those families.
That's awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we let you get back to your busy day?
You know what? I think, like I have said this whole summer, now's the time where everyone's kind of feeling the stress of life and our change of pace. The being outside just really helps everyone slow down a little bit and enjoy nature. It can make you feel less anxiety and less stress in your life. So get out there, enjoy the nature, um, take some time to be with yourself or your family as well. It really does bring a lot of benefits to life, and nature sometimes is overlooked. There's a lot of small little things that we sometimes don't even pay attention to, but there's a lot of fun flowers blooming right now. The animals are out, and it's just a great time to be outside right now. So if you haven't had a chance to get out and do that, I really recommend hitting the trails and just taking some time for yourself.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, David. We really appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to David or any of the other excellent team members at Riverbend, and they're always happy to help and chat with you about all the programs that they have available. All
Great,
right.
I appreciate that, Kurt.
Our pleasure. Yeah, our pleasure. Okay, well, you have a great day, and thank you, everybody, for joining us.
You as well. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.